We've got a new president-elect. What does this mean for the housing market? That's what we're talking about today. Hi, welcome back to another Coffee with Coleman, where we love to discuss Washington, D.C., business, real estate, all that good stuff. My name is John Coleman, and I'm a real estate agent here in Washington, D.C. with the Jason Martin Group. As we get going, two favors. One, if you're liking the video, if you're liking the information, go ahead and hit that like button. It gives me a little encouragement. And if you're really liking the videos that you're seeing, go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because then you get alerted each week when I release new videos, and you don't want to miss them. All right, I've been living in Washington, D.C. for quite a while, and one thing I can tell you is politics always strikes a chord with folks. And I don't want to get political here. The whole goal is we're having a change of administration, and with this change of administration is some different goals for the housing market. And so today we are going to cover what those goals are. And if you want to see a full rundown of the Biden administration plan for the housing market, go ahead and go to his website. He lays it all out right there. That's where I got my information. And then I'll link some additional articles below of where I kind of started collaborating some of my thoughts and feelings about what we're seeing. And frankly, a lot of it is kind of political talk jargon. It doesn't seem too real to me yet until I see more of this fleshed out. However, I think it's good to hit the high points or the highlights to ensure that we understand where the main objectives for this administration are. And there's three areas where we'll be talking about today. First, we're going to talk about programs for first-time homebuyers. Second is launching and relaunching programs to help fight institutional racism in the housing market. And third, going green. Make sure we can be as green and happy as possible for this earth. So let's start with the first one, which is for first-time homebuyers. The first objective that they're going to be covering is they're going to come up with a $15,000 tax credit for first-time homebuyers. Now, the difference of this tax credit versus something else you might qualify for is you don't have to wait till April to get this tax credit. You will get it at the settlement table. And if you can get up to $15,000, that's a lot of money to be getting paid to buy a house. And that is a very good advantage of making homeownership more appealing and more available to more people. And that's a big goal of this administration. That's probably the biggest difference maker I've seen of theirs versus some of the other stuff that I've seen in the recent past. Second is they want to give public and local service workers, and that means like teachers, frontline workers, and people that are embedded in our community, more opportunities for buying homes. So they're going to widen programs, give more opportunities, give more incentives for those people to buy homes in the community, because those are the people that you want entrenched. So they're going to concentrate on those networks to ensure that they have every advantage in them to want to invest in the community that they are investing themselves in. And I think that that's a pretty welcome thing. Third, they want to get more creative with helping people build credit. Some people can't qualify for a loan not because they have bad credit, but because they have no credit. And rather than just taking that as an excuse and making someone take out a credit card and build a little credit over time, they want to give people options now. So they're going to look at things like rental history and payments of utilities and other things to help build credibility that they feel like someone's going to be able to pay them back. And they're going to use that as a way to help qualify a person for a loan. Next, the Biden administration wants to do as much as they can to eliminate racial bias and give people as many opportunities not only to own homes, but to make sure that they can rent their homes as well. And they're going to do this in a few ways. The first of which is they want to play around with appraisals. And in some parts of this country, and even in some parts of DC, there can be a block, and the values of properties on one side of the block, which seems to be majority white, and the values of homes on the other side, which seems to be not majority white, can be vastly different. And so what they want to do in order for the neighborhoods to grow in value is allow them to get rid of these kind of, they'll call them red lines, to ensure that appraisals can say that the houses in this community can be equal to the houses in this community if they're equal in the same. So that's something that they want to digest. That's tough. I don't know how they're going to break it down, but I can see the bonuses of doing it and helping this community get a little higher. So I'm interested to see more details because, of course, the devils are always in the details and making sure we can understand how we're going to help this playing field level out for the whole community. What the Biden administration also wants to do is increase the opportunity for Section 8 housing. They don't want people to spend more than 30% of their income on housing, and they're going to come up with more creative ways to make sure that people can qualify for Section 8 housing. So that's going to be important, making sure that people that don't have enough funds, and that's a city like DC, it's expensive. It's expensive to find housing. So giving everyone equal opportunity to make sure that they have a roof over their heads is a main priority of their platform. Along with that, part of the problem isn't always qualifying for Section 8 housing. It's actually having housing for the Section 8 housing vouchers. And so one thing they want to do is they want to pump some more money into the communities to make sure that they can put more affordable housing out there. So not only are people getting their vouchers, but they have a place to go with that voucher and they can use it. And being in real estate, we do get calls all the time of people looking and struggling to use their Section 8 vouchers. So I know that this is a problem in our community. One thing that the Biden administration wants to do is bring back something that the Obama administration had in place and recently Trump got rid of. This is the Affirmatively Further Fair Housing Rule. And the whole goal of it is to look at communities and help them identify and negate different practices that could be considered discriminatory. And what they're going to do is they're going to hold people to a certain standard, hold communities to a certain standard, that if they want federal funding for certain things, they want to make sure that they're meeting these baseline opportunities to help everyone in the community. And lastly, the third thing that the Biden administration really wants to do is they said they want to go green. That's been a major thing of their platform, not only housing, but in general. So their big goal is by 2035, they want to halve the carbon footprint from housing. And they want to do this in a number of ways. They want to make construction more incentivized to be as green as possible. They also want to provide incentives for people that want to make their current homes more energy efficient. And so they're going to come up with a number of different ways to do this. Again, I don't have any of the details on this. This all sounds good. I think green energy can be a very good thing for our community. And therefore, if we can come up with different ways to incentivize and do that. One thing I do know is DC actually does have a number of programs that does tie in to make sure that you can be as green as possible. If you want to learn more about those programs, go ahead and reach out. Some of them can be free. Some of them can help you put more plants in your yard, help with watershed, do a whole lot of different things. And this is already stuff we have built into our community. So I'd like to see and think that DC's a little ahead in some of this area. Again, this all looks good on paper. Having more affordable housing, giving more people opportunities to buy their first home, making things more energy efficient. I'm really excited for them to come out with more details so we can break this down and really assess how this is going to impact not only the DC market, but our country. If you have any specific questions about this or comments, I'd love to hear it. I'm not an economist. I'm not very into politics either. But I think it's important as people in our community and our country, as we move forward to this new administration, to understand what their goals are for the housing market, since that is something that falls in my realm. So thanks again for stopping by another Coffee with Coleman. Peace.